You think you can tell when someone is lying to you. You almost certainly can't. And by the end of this video, I am going to hand you a single question that makes it nearly impossible for a liar to keep their story straight. But first, I have to take away the tricks you think already work, because nearly every one of them is fake. Let's start with a number that should genuinely bother you. When psychologists Charles Bond and Bella DePaulo gathered together every serious study ever done on lie detection, more than 200 experiments involving around 24,000 people, they found something humbling. On average, a human being correctly spots a lie about 54% of the time. 50% is a pure coin flip. So all of your instincts, all of your gut feelings, all of your years of life, experience reading people, add up to roughly a 4% edge over random guessing. And before you assume the professionals are better, they mostly aren't. Police officers, judges, even trained interrogators, when tested under controlled conditions, tend to land around that same coin flip range. What they do have is more confidence. And that combination, low accuracy paired with high confidence, is exactly how innocent people end up confessing in interrogation rooms. So why are we this bad at it? Here is the surprising answer. Your brain is not broken. It was built this way on purpose. A psychologist named Tim Levine calls it the truth default. In order to function at all, human beings have to assume, most of the time, that other people are telling the truth. Imagine genuinely questioning every single thing everyone said to you all day long. Society would grind to a halt, so evolution handed you a shortcut. Believe first, doubt rarely. That default trust is the glue holding all of human cooperation together. And it is also the exact reason a confident liar can walk straight past your defenses. Now let's tear down the myths, because you are walking around with a head full of tells that simply do not work. Myth number 1, the big one. Liars avoid eye contact. This is the single most common belief about lying on the entire planet. It has been surveyed across dozens of countries, and almost everyone, everywhere, believes it. And it is wrong. Studies consistently find that liars do not avoid eye contact. If anything, many hold more of it. They know you expect them to look away, so they deliberately lock onto your eyes to prove how honest they are. So the shifty person breaking eye contact might just be shy or anxious, while the smooth liar is gazing calmly straight into your soul. Myth number 2. The eyes glance in a certain direction. You have probably heard that if someone looks up and to the right, they are lying, and up and to the left, they are remembering. It sounds scientific. It is not. When researchers actually put it to the test, tracking real eye movements against real lies, they found absolutely nothing. No connection whatsoever. It is, flatly, a myth that refuses to die. Myth number 3. Fidgeting and nervousness. We picture a liar squirming, sweating, touching their face. But stop and think. Honest people get nervous too, especially when they are accused or under pressure or simply anxious by nature. Nervousness tells you that someone is stressed. It does not tell you why they are stressed, and a practiced liar is very often perfectly, chillingly calm. So if the eyes lie to you, and the fidgeting lies to you, what actually works? Every real sign flows from one single source, and once you understand it, everything else falls into place. Lying is hard work for the brain. Telling the truth is easy. You simply describe what happened. But lying forces your brain to do 5 difficult things all at the same time. Invent a believable story. Keep it internally consistent. Remember exactly what you already claimed. Monitor whether the other person is buying it. And suppress the real truth the entire time. That is an enormous mental workload. Scientists call it cognitive load. And no matter how skilled the liar is, that strain tends to leak out. Nearly every genuine sign of lying is really just a sign of a brain working too hard. Real sign number 1. The unusual pause. Pay attention to how long someone takes before answering a simple question. Truth is instant. It is already sitting right there in memory. But a lie has to be built first. So you will often catch a strange little delay, a beat too long, an or an right before an answer that should have been effortless. It is not what they say. It is the half second before they say it. Real sign number 2. The story is too thin. This one is genuinely useful. When people describe something that really happened to them, their account is cluttered with useless detail. The random song that was on the radio, a dog barking somewhere down the street, the fact that their coffee had gone cold. Real memories are messy, full of pointless, incidental texture. A lie, by contrast, tends to be lean and efficient, containing only what is strictly needed to sell it and nothing more. If a story feels strangely clean, stripped down to just the essential beats with none of the random debris of real life, stay curious. Real sign number 3. The rehearsed script. A liar often prepares their story to run in exactly one direction, beginning to end, like lines they have memorized. It can sound just a little too polished, too linear, too smooth, which sets up the single best technique in this entire video. Real sign number 4. The one I promised you at the very start. Ask them to tell it backwards. A psychologist named Alder Dave Reij built an entire method around deliberately overloading a liar's brain, and this is its sharpest tool. A truthful person is describing a real memory, so they can move around inside it freely. Start at the end, jump to the middle, fill in a detail they skipped over. No problem at all, because they actually lived it. But a liar constructed their story to run forwards only. Ask them to tell the whole thing in reverse order from the end back to the beginning, and the cognitive load spikes so violently that the story tends to fall apart. Details vanish. The timeline tangles. Contradictions appear that were never there going forward. It is not magic. It is simply too much for a fabricating brain to juggle in real time. Real sign number 5. The unexpected question. Liars rehearse the obvious questions, so ask one they never saw coming. If someone claims they spent the evening at a particular restaurant, do not interrogate the story they have already prepared. Ask what the layout was like. What was to the left as you walked in? Where the bathrooms were? A truth teller simply pulls it from memory. A liar, who only prepared the main narrative, is suddenly forced to invent all over again, on the spot, and you can often watch the hesitation happen right in front of you. Real sign number 6. The microexpression. This comes from the famous work of psychologist Paul Ekman. When someone feels a powerful emotion but tries to conceal it, the true feeling can flash across their face for less than a fifth of a second before they bury it again. A flicker of fear, a flash of contempt, a smile they could not quite stop in time. These leaks are real and they are involuntary. The catch is that they are extraordinarily fast, so catching them reliably takes real practice. But when a micro-expression flatly contradicts the words coming out of someone's mouth, believe the face. Real sign number 7. Distancing language. Listen closely to how someone talks about the thing in question. People unconsciously try to put linguistic distance between themselves and a lie. They use fewer I statements. They go vague. They will say that vehicle instead of my car, or describe their own actions in oddly detached, passive ways. The words themselves quietly step backward, away from the story, even when the person has no idea they are doing it. And that leads to maybe the most important reframe in this whole video. Everyone obsesses over body language, but decades of research point to an uncomfortable truth. The words matter more than the body. What a person actually says, the structure of it, the richness of the detail, the consistency, the specific language is far more revealing than any amount of squirming or sweating or hand movement. You have spent your whole life watching the hands when you should have been listening to the sentences. Now, here is where I have to be honest with you, in a way that almost no other video on this topic ever will be. Even armed with every single one of these signs, you are still not a lie detector. You are, at your absolute best, slightly less terrible than you were a few minutes ago. None of these cues are proof. Every one of them is a maybe. Nervous, honest people pause and give thin accounts and avoid your eyes constantly. And cold, practiced liars can look you dead in the face and deliver a flawless, detailed, perfectly reversible story without a single flicker. These signs shift the odds a little. They never, ever settle the question. And that leaves us with the real, unsettling truth sitting at the bottom of all of this. The most dangerous liar in your life is not the sweaty, shifty, obvious one. It is the calm, warm, confident person you are absolutely certain would never lie to you. Because the very moment you feel sure you can read someone, that certainty becomes the exact blind spot they slip through. Your confidence in reading people is not a skill. It is the illusion that makes you easy to fool. So maybe the goal was never to become a human lie detector at all. Maybe it is simply this: to hold your certainty a little more loosely. To remember that trust is something your brain hands out by default, not because you carefully verified it, but because a world with no trust in it is a world nobody could actually live in. Your brain chose connection over accuracy a very long time ago, and honestly, it probably made the right call. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, click subscribe. Your brain didn't want you to know, but now you do.